Hello, welcome back, everybody. It is fantastic to be back. Looking forward to this watch along that we have today for the Community Shield. Absolute banger of a game. Liverpool, Man City. I don't know which way this one's going to go. Just looking forward to enjoying some good football. Glad the football's back on. That's all that we're here for, basically. So let's just enjoy it, chill, have a lekker chat, pop any questions, any chats in the chat box that's there, and let's just sit back, enjoy the game, basically. I wanted to just have a look at the lineups because I am hearing that Liverpool have left Nunes on the bench. A little bit of a surprise for me. Well, not a surprise in terms of the way that he's performed pre-season, to be honest with you. I don't think he's been fantastically great, to be honest. First touch is leaving a lot to be desired, but the guy's new, so let's see how it goes. But I see he is on the bench. I see Firmino's starting up top, so that's a very interesting choice. As we all know, Firmino's been exceptionally important for Liverpool over the past few years. With dropping into that sort of false nine type of a role, and letting, the likes of Salah and Mane, when he was there, basically take up those two forward slots. So great link-up player, Firmino, and I suppose the brightest of teeth on the planet, really. So let's see how he goes. See how he goes up top. It will be interesting to see the dynamic up there because Luis Diaz and Firmino, I don't think have played together. I might be wrong, but I don't think they've really played together. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the link up between Firmino and Luis Diaz goes. And then over on Man City, I mean, it's kind of here what we're here for. Seeing Erling Haaland play for the first time in a Man City shirt in a competitive game, it's going to be interesting. I'm also keen to keep an eye on the likes of Grealish and Mahrez. I want to check that link up between them, specifically from a fantasy league point of view. I'm very, very interested to see how Riyad Mahrez goes, as well as Jack Grealish. Obviously, with the likes of Ferran Torres and Raheem Sterling leaving the club. Obviously, with Torres leaving a little bit earlier, but then with Sterling sort of playing a lot more on the right-hand side, with Grealish playing sort of on the left, along with Foden, who I see has actually been omitted from the squad. So that's a very, very interesting point of view. I see he has been omitted from the squad, from the starting lineup. Foden, I do see he's on the bench, so I'm sure we'll see him sometime today. And another new boy in Calvin Phillips. We all know him from Leeds. Also on the bench today. And interestingly, Nathan Ake is starting in the centre-back role, along with Ruben Diaz. That's a very interesting one. For me, I wonder if Pep is playing him in order to, drive up interest potentially in him for a transfer. I doubt it. I'm sure they'll want to keep Nathan Ake. Very versatile footballer, can play on the sort of left back, right back role, as well as the left centre back roles. Very, very versatile, but I just can't see him starting many games ahead of the general centre back pairing in Stones and Diaz for Man City. And the other one interesting to keep an eye on is Kyle Walker out on the right back position. Very, very interesting pick over there. He's obviously been injury out sort of most of last season, so it'd be interesting to see how he gets along. Again, I'd be keen to have a look at it from a fantasy point of view. So let me know what you guys think about the starting lineups. I'm very, very excited to see Haaland play. I'm excited to see some good football. I'm very, very, very excited that the football's back. So basically today, just chill, enjoy, get engaging in the chat, and let's just watch some great football together. What is interesting is before the game gets going, obviously predict heroes. We've got our football predictions for today's game, and we do have a Liverpool win coming in at a 42% and a Man City win coming in at 36%. And the guys that have followed us for a very long time know that there really isn't too much in that. Pretty much all the same. It's minuscule differences in terms of the players, which we're expecting over here. We're expecting, two heavyweights going at it, hammer and tongs. So should be a really good game. And the expected scoreline that we do have is a 1-1. Obviously, beginning of the season, players are usually highly motivated. There's no fear on the ball. So this should really just make for a good matchup. And obviously, if it does end in a 1-1, off to nerve-wracking penalties we go. So it's going to be a good game. And in terms of sort of outcomes, a 71% chance of the over 2.5 goals, which I think is a pretty decent shout for this game, to be honest. And a 70% chance of both teams to score. So this should really, really be a good game with both teams sort of going at it. End-to-end football is what I'm really looking for, what I'm really excited for. So, yeah, let's just get into the game, and we'll start a poll once the game gets going, and just let everybody sort of vote what they think who's gonna win the outcome, and just sort of see what the chat thinks is going to happen in this game. But really going to be a decent game, I think. Always a good one for the curtain raiser. And as per usual, we cannot wait for next weekend with the new season kicking off, the new Premier League season. So it should be a great one. And then just a brief update in terms of where Predict Heroes is at. You might as well take this opportunity. Where Predict Heroes is at and sort of where we're going. So currently now, the past few weeks during the off-season, we've been working extremely hard on new website for you guys, enhancing the algorithm. Just sort of really just putting some effort into making the site even better and better for all of you. So what is going to be great for all of the fans out there, fantasy Premier League fans out there, and I'm hoping to have it potentially launched within the next 24 to 48 hours max. We have managed to create an amazing player comparison tool where you'll be able to stack up players either against themselves, players against other players, and filter down to how certain players perform against certain teams, how the players perform at home versus how they perform away. Just really deep dive into the specific players and at the specific price points that the players come in. And we're basically hoping to answer a couple of the questions that we've obviously seen a lot of on the likes of Twitter, where the guys are basically asking, who's the better option in terms of Kane and Haaland and things like that. So basically allowing the guys to stack them up against each other, and hopefully just assisting the guys that do enjoy fantasy, to pick the players that they'd obviously go for. So we're hoping to have that launched on the website within the next 24 to 48 hours, like I mentioned, as well as we are working on a mobile app. Hopefully get that up and running before the end of the year is the plan. So we're just having a look at all of these things and just trying to bring you guys the best possible solutions that we can. And as always, if you guys have any feedback or anything, just ask. Always on TikTok, on Telegram, we're on YouTube as well. We're on Twitter, so as you can see on the rolling bar, we do have there our Twitter handle. We've got our YouTube channel, which obviously you guys are on at the moment. And yeah, just keep a fay with us, keep up to date, and it's basically just build a great site together, because that's what it's about the love of football, eh? So yeah, so we've got about 15 minutes before the game kicks off. So there's probably going to be a crossover to the game shortly. So we'll see how that goes. See the bit of the warm-ups and see what's happening there. Get a little bit of feedback from Pep and Klopp and see how the guys are going. But like I said, I'm very, very keen to see a couple of players. Haaland being one of them, very excited for that. I'm excited to see Kyle Walker back, the right wing back. Yeah, obviously there's a lot of talk with Cucurella from Brighton out to Man City. So that'll be interesting in terms of dynamic, because I mean Cucurella is one of the first names on the Brighton sheet. So can we see him starting ahead of the likes of Cancelo and Kyle Walker? I mean, personally, definitely not Cancelo for me. I think potentially, if anything, maybe a Kyle Walker, but I mean, Cucurella playing on the left wing back, it doesn't make sense taking a specialist left wing back in Cancelo and moving him over to cover right when you've got Kyle Walker there. So it's going to be interesting. You know, sometimes the players, they leave clubs with starters and whatnot, and it's a bit of a weird one for me. But you know, each to their own. And if he does end up going there, I wish him all the luck. I mean, it's a fantastic team, Man City. As a Man United supporter myself, it's painful to say, but fantastic team and outfit and players at the moment. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I see there's a lot of talk of Bernardo Silva to Barcelona, but apparently it is hinged completely on the future of De Jong there. I personally am not a fan of what Barcelona have been doing this transfer window. I'm sure some of you don't mind, some of you would agree with me, some of you will tell me that I'm crazy. But I really am not a fan of what Barca have been doing this window. You know, you sell your TV rights in order to not pay debt, but you sell your TV rights in order to take out more debt technically, because they've basically gone and blasted money on players and they haven't been paying their players. So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic of how the sagas like De Jong, Memphis is another one at Barca. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Memphis situation plays out. I saw this morning that he's basically saying that he doesn't want to leave the club. I think he's a fantastic player, Memphis. I was really, really sad that things didn't work out 100% at United. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting closing of the window for Barca, because if they don't ship some of these players on, they are owing them millions and millions and millions in wages. And I think it will be the beginning of the end for a club even as big as Barca in their status. I doubt the club will ever go away because, you know, Spanish finance laws are slightly different, so they'll find ways and means around it. But it's going to be interesting to see, I think, how the whole Barcelona thing plays out. I think they're going to either irritate a lot of their players that they shouldn't be irritating, just in order to make this work. So let's see what they do. They've had a great window, obviously signing a lot of big names, and they still link to a lot of big names. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. But I see, the Man City boys arriving at the stadium. Just watching the intro there. Klopp busy chatting to Gundogan. You know, from the good old days. There's De Bruyne walking in, and there's big man Haaland. Klopp looks nervous, and who wouldn't be? I mean, this man is crazy. 49 goals in 52 league appearances since the start of 2020-2021. And you know what? If he was playing for Bayern Munich, I would say, hold my hands up and be like, yeah, okay, it's a big team in a big league, and I know Dortmund are a big team in a big league, but Dortmund have also lost a lot of their big stars and a lot of their big creators in the last few windows. And Haaland just keeps finding a way to score. So I honestly think if Haaland is fully fit, and even with the pep roulette, I think this man starts everything. I think he's just going to be an absolute powerhouse this season. And yeah, I mean, my early prediction is Haaland goes on and nabs the golden boot, Man City to win the league. I just can't see them losing it. I mean, the Liverpool fans will ridicule me for that statement, but I just cannot see them physically losing the league. So it's going to be interesting. See how it all goes, but let's keep on top of it. Let's do this. Let's start a poll quickly in the chats, and it's just final result. Let's call it final result, and we'll go with a Liverpool win or a Man City win. We'll leave the poll up for a while in the chat, so just pop down there and just cast your vote, and let's see how it goes. We'll leave it up for a little while until the game at least starts, maybe 5 minutes into the game, and let's see how the results come out. We can see Nunes is on the screen. Like I mentioned, I mean, 26 goals for 28 league appearances for Darwin Nunes for Benfica. I mean, I personally I try to watch as much football as I can, but I'm not I don't really have a team in the Portuguese league. I know I am wearing a Benfica shirt, but I had to pick one of my neutral shirts, shall we call it, for this game, because can you imagine me sitting here watching the Community Shield, sitting in a Man United shirt? That would just be sad. So I took one of my neutral shirts. I got this shirt because I really, really like it. Beautiful shirt. I'm an avid shirt collector. Many teams as I possibly can get my hands on. So yeah, let me know in the poll who you guys think is going to win. I think this is going to be a great result. I think, like we said, we've got a 1-1 coming out of our algorithm to end the game, which will take it to penalties. But start of the season, I can see some goals being banged in. So let's sit back, enjoy the football, and yeah. So I just saw a clip now as I was sort of going through in the match warm-up. Saw a clip of Mendy, the goalkeeper for Chelsea, and I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on it? I think for me, he's a really decent keeper, but I don't know. I've started to see a couple of weird things, especially in pre-season. Starting to see a couple of odd behavioral patterns from Mendy coming out, not pushing the ball to safety and things. It just seems like Chelsea just really have a knack for, I mean, okay, Petr Cech was just like absolute demon and legend of the club, but yeah, I think then Kepa came in, most expensive keeper, and I still don't know why they spent so much money on him. It's still a shock. So yes, I don't know what you guys' thoughts on Mendy and how he's going. I was sort of from a fantasy perspective, I was having a look at him as a keeper, but I don't know. I'm almost feeling as going for a sort of safer option, or maybe even thinking of the only safe person from the Pep roulette. I'm starting to feel like Allison could be the actual keeper that I might go with this season for fantasy. You know, it's kind of like a locked-in 160 points at the end of the season, so will be a good one. Gonna definitely have a look at. And like I said, we're gonna be launching our player comparison tool within the next 24 to 48 hours, and when we do, I'm definitely going to be using that, and I'll be sharing all the stuff on TikTok and Twitter, so make sure you're following us on our handles over there as to who the keeper and the defenders and the mids and my whole team I'll be sharing based off of what I find with the comparison tool. I'll be sharing all of that with you guys. So I see that they've just sort of got the opening ceremony happening at the moment. It's weird that they're playing at Leicester Stadium today. No offense to Leicester, but like it's not the most impressive stadium, if we can call it that. It's a little bit of a it's a decent stadium, obviously, but it's not like fantastic, to be honest with you. So just looking for a really good game of football at the end of the day. So yeah, I see a couple of votes trickling in currently now. Liverpool won up at 67% and a Man City won at 33%. I think this is going to be a really, really tight game. We'll leave the poll up for the first 5-10 minutes into the game in the chat, because if there's an early goal, I can just see what's going to happen in the chat depending on the team who the early goal's for. So yeah, so the players are coming out. But yeah, guys, get involved in the chat. Ask any questions you guys want, and yeah, we'll kick it off from there. One thing that I do see over here is Klopp has gone with Adrian as goalkeeper. So, and as I see that, I see another vote coming in for Man City. So whoever just voted for City, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, and there we go. There's another for City. Wouldn't be surprised if it's because they see Adrian on the screen. So a little bit of a weird one from from Klopp. Same with playing Firmino instead of Nunes, which is interesting because Nunes has been playing all of the pre-season warm-up games. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange call in my opinion, but interesting nonetheless. We'll see how he goes. Obviously, Man City are taking this pretty damn seriously, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this game pans out. Players are going onto the pitch now, so let's let them all line up and get the game going. Got a few Liverpool legends coming out on the pitch. See Ian Rush there. Crazy player that. So yeah, it would be take a little bit as a Man United supporter. I mean, who can miss the opportunity to take a bit of a dig at Man City? But yeah, where's the Man City legends walking out on the pitch? It will be interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, going to be a fantastic game. So a couple of unfamiliar faces in the starting lineups of the team. I think Man City have definitely named a very strong outfit. I think Pep is just a trophy hoarder. You know, he's a Mourinho, he's a Sir Alex Ferguson. That they just don't take any chances. You know, they really just go at it with everything that they can. So it's going to be interesting. The only real name that's not really generic in the starting lineup, I think, for Man City is Nathan Ake. I'm not sure if Stones is just not match fit yet, or like I said earlier in the stream, I don't know if Pep is attempting to drive up Ake's price with the likes of Cucurella potentially coming in. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes, because I mean, obviously with Zinchenko leaving, Ake really didn't get too many games last season, so he's a really good centre back. It's a very Daily Blind type of a player, so it would be fantastic to see how he goes today. I got a feeling that they're using it in order to drive up the price. Maybe they're also using it to sell him so that Grealish can get a little bit of a haircut, because that's looking a little bit dodgy over there. So, and we got a few Man City supporters in the stadium today. This is fantastic to see. Got a couple of guys in the chat. Ramon, welcome. Yeah, make sure you guys vote in the poll. Currently up with a Man City win at 55-45. Like we said, we'll leave the poll running for about 10 minutes into the game, and then we'll end it off and see how it goes. So, obviously, in the back, Matip pairing up with Van Dijk. I'm wondering when Konate is going to get a run next to Van Dijk. That would be interesting. A little bit ill-disciplined sometimes, Konate, but very quick on his feet, so he manages to recover. Very strong lineup. Midfield is solid. Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago. Only big name up front, really big change, is obviously Firmino in for Nunes. I would have expected Nunes to start. He has been a bit slightly offish in pre-season, so probably just giving him a bit of a break, bring him on at 60 minutes. And big man Haaland starting up top for Manchester City. I mean, Haaland versus Adrian is going to be, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, let me give Adrian the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to rip the man. He's a professional footballer at the end of the day, so he must be doing something right. And yeah, so maybe Pep just did not want, or Klopp did not want to embarrass Alisson against Haaland up top. I'm just joking, guys, but seriously, it's going to be a great watch to see Haaland up against Adrian over there. High balls. I mean, ever you've watched a game or a few games of Haaland, you'll know what he does to keepers. He's a menace. He's a Diego Costa, but about 2 meters tall. So there's just a lot of him. So it's a great game. Like I said, few players I'm keeping an eye out for fantasy. I think Luis Diaz and Robertson, I want to see those link-ups playing down the left-hand side for Liverpool. Going to be very interesting to see. A few games that I have seen with those two linking up, it's been fantastic. So I'm very interested to see that. The other sort of link-ups that I'm keen to see is Mahrez, right wing. I really rate Mahrez. Great player. Not a player that you can hate, no matter which team you support. Fantastic footballer. I mean, Mahrez and Haaland, what's going to happen over there? It's just going to be a fantastic game. Right, gents, kickoff is about to go down, so let's enjoy the football. Craig Pawson, the referee, really becoming a big household name. Players just taking a knee. And let's go. Curtain raiser, boys. Curtain raiser. Absolutely fantastic. There was the first aerial battle between Haaland and Van Dijk. Easy to see that Van Dijk will obviously not allow for himself to be bullied. He did win the first header there, even though it wasn't convincing. He did win it. A great ball from Firmino. Great ball. Ooh, it was a bit of a poor touch. Thiago with the shot. And Bernardo with the clearance. Right. This is how we want some football. End to end, boys. End to end. It'll also be interesting to see if Salah, with his bumper contract, can keep up appearances. He's been an amazing player the past few seasons, so it's going to be great to keep an eye on him. Ooh, Adrian already with a little bit of a nervy moment, passing the ball, almost hooking it out. Matip does best to keep it from a corner, gives away the throw-in to Man City. That's very soft. Luis Diaz trying to, in the free kick off of Rodri there, knowing that he had a bit of a poor first touch. Great player, this Luis Diaz. Great player. I think Porto fans are still very, very upset that they let him go. And I think they let him go for very cheap. I think he was probably worth a little bit more. So they got a really good deal, Liverpool. Salah up against Ake. Cancelo assisting. And the shot. Ooh. Great play. Great play so far. Good end-to-end football. Salah showing some pace up the side there. Ake did well. Held him up, didn't commit. Allowed for Cancelo to get back. Almost got the shot away there. Decent play. Salah with a wild switch. Ball almost goes from the corner flag to the throw-in line. Kyle Walker wants to get on with it quickly, but Thiago's done well. Nope. De Bruyne on the ball. Ooh, almost. What's interesting already that I can see is that he has a break on for Salah. Cutting inside, he takes Cancelo out the game. Ooh, into the side netting. Unlucky. Good run, good play. Ball just goes from one end of the pitch to the other. It's just getting pinged along. It's absolutely madness. Absolutely madness. And he was onside as well. What is interesting is that I've already seen a few times is Haaland is sort of migrating towards Van Dijk. I don't know if it's just due to, you know, generally players like, especially central players, like to sort of drift ever so slightly to the one side. De Bruyne almost with the ball through. Van Dijk does damn well. That a foul from the back. That's a bit of a cheeky one, ref. A little bit later on in the game, I think that could have been a bit of a card to Thiago. A little bit of a cheeky clip over there. Tried to play it off as cool, but gets taken down. So yeah, so like I was saying, Haaland seems to be migrating ever so slightly to Van Dijk, which is odd. You know, you would think you'd maybe play on the shoulder of Matip, but yeah, not a great free kick. Swung in a little bit too deep. Players are a bit rusty. Let's see how it goes. So currently now the poll is sitting 59% chance of a Man City win and 41% chance of a Liverpool win. So it's going to be a interesting take. We'll run the poll for another 5 minutes. So if you want to get your votes in, get your votes in now. We are up now at 61% chance of a Man City win. I should have just changed it to be a Haaland win instead of a Man City win. Bruyne taking the ball down, not getting much help over there. You know, there's one thing that's very interesting is a lot of players talk about the likes of Bruno Fernandes, you know, losing the ball and giving the ball away a lot, and I agree with it. I mean, obviously watching them year day in day out, but I mean, if I just take it, De Bruyne is, oh my goodness, Salah almost in on goal there. Ruben Diaz, oh no, that was Cancelo with a fantastic covering piece of defense, along with Ake. They double teamed him up. Yeah, it was a great play. So yeah, so I mean, De Bruyne already in this game has given the ball away, I think three times already, and it's only 5 minutes. But that's what creative players do. You know, they need to try something. They have to keep doing it, and you know, eventually times will come off. So it's very interesting to see. Henderson getting a little bit angry. I'm assuming at the referee. I don't know for what. Grealish with the great touches already, past 2 or 3 players. I think Bernardo took it off his toe though. He was actually going around nicely there. So Salah with a bit of a fake. Who's this got a run? Robertson's got a nice run on the outside here. Bit of a poor ball to him from Thiago. Stops the move in its tracks. Thiago with a bit of a poor switch again. Playing in behind the players the 3rd time already. Players are a little bit rusty, obviously. Matip tries the long ball. Edison clears up. Guys, please don't forget to hit a like on the stream. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Bernardo Silva was running himself into trouble there. That was crazy. That was crazy. My goodness, that was wild. Edison with the distribution. Kyle Walker can't fetch. A little bit too long. Game's a little bit scrappy at the moment. As expected. De Bruyne seems very high up the pitch. Almost playing as a second striker, actually. Pushing on the defenders, but Adrian with a good ball out. Bruyne on the ball, snaps it up, takes the shot, and it's just wide. Great play all around. This Man City press is insane. They just work as a team. Van Dijk with a fantastic block, actually. I mean, the ground he made up, that man's legs are as long as ladders, I tell you. He just made up the ground with a fantastic block there on De Bruyne's shot. First corner of the game. Let's see how it goes. Ruben Diaz on the keeper. They play it short. Grealish with the chip. Okay. Ooh. Okay, with the efforts. Just behind. Nice work, corner. Van Dijk actually mistimed the jump, unfortunately. Ball came sort of extremely high, but obviously with Van Dijk jumping in front of Ake, a bit of a short one. Vision was blocked and couldn't manage to wrap his head around it. Fabinho working very hard in the midfield already in the beginning stages, doing very well. Firmino playing that sort of link-up play, as we've all come accustomed to see. Firmino up against Mahrez. Might as well just smile and blind the man with his teeth. There seems to be a little bit of a lack of options because in the midfield for Liverpool at the moment. What's happening is De Bruyne is pushing so high up, almost playing as a as a second striker when the defending is actually happening. And what's happening is it's just forcing Liverpool to play the ball wide. Ball comes in, good clearance out by Ake again. He's such a good defender, that kid really is. Holland on the ball. Didn't spot the beautiful run there by De Bruyne out on the right inside. Grealish coming in. This is a make or break season for Grealish. I mean, he has to do something this season. So, guys, we're going to leave the poll to run for a few more minutes, and then we're going to shut it down. So if you haven't got your votes in, please do. At this present point in time, we do have a 58% chance of a Man City win and a 42% chance of a Liverpool win. So very, very interesting in the chat. So please, if you want to get your votes in, get your votes in. I'll be closing it down in the next few seconds. It's crazy how high up the Man City wingbacks play. I mean, Kyle Walker just got caught offside. He's a fullback. The defender's on the ball, and he gets caught offside. Yes, Liverpool are playing a high line, but I mean, just the fact that the man is in a position that he can be offside is just ridiculous for me. So, absolutely madness. All right, guys, I've just ended off the poll. And we do have a Man City win at 57% and a Liverpool win at 42%. So very interesting. We'll open up the poll at halftime again and see what the results are based on what's happening in the first half and what you guys see. Sure. Some very, very rusty passing going on at the moment. In the game, so but as expected, I mean, it's curtain raiser, so see how it goes. Like I was saying just now, Liverpool do seem like a little bit not weak in the midfield. They seem to be a little bit outnumbered at the moment in the midfield. Like I was saying, that De Bruyne is pushing up as a second striker when defending, and it's stopping Liverpool from utilizing their centre backs as pass options. It's classic Pep tactics. It's so interesting to actually sit back and just watch the game like this. I mean, great football. Camera's panning on Darwin Núñez on the bench at the moment. I wonder if we'll see him. It's going to be interesting to see. One thing I can say so far already, that's quite interesting, is Haaland's up sort of shoulder to shoulder on a lot of players. He's already gone shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Van Dijk and Matip, Fabinho. You know, these are big Liverpool players, but you know, he hasn't been bullying anybody as yet. I haven't seen him sort of shrug off anybody, so very interesting to see early on. This man is a goal scorer, so the other thing interesting to notice, Luis Diaz and Robertson are sort of double teaming up against Kyle Walker. Obviously, he hasn't played in a little while either, so... Oh, Robertson into the side netting. Again, Kyle Walker out of position. That's going to be an interesting flank to watch. Klopp is clapping the delivery, because it really was a great delivery. But again, Kyle Walker is literally oblivious. Mahrez, that was Mahrez's man. He glanced over his left-hand shoulder, saw where Robertson was, decided not to do anything about it, and Robertson had, you can't really call it a free header on goal. He wasn't marked and all, but the angle was just completely against him. So Sure. Foul against Thiago on Mahrez. Don't think it's a foul. I think Mahrez actually chopped off the ball there, unfortunately. Grealish has looking his movement's been looking decent. I'm really contemplating him as a FPL asset this season. I think with Sterling gone, I think with Mahrez down the right, Grealish literally as that left wing slot completely to himself. So here comes Mahrez. Good defending there. Thiago again. Such a clever footballer Thiago is. I'm not a massive fan of his in terms of his build-up play. I think sometimes he slows the play up quite a bit, but in terms of his tactical awareness, I think he's a really brilliant player. Cancelo out on the left, almost holding Grealish's hand. He's so far forward. It's crazy. I mean, you look at these two teams. I mean, we can all be honest with each other. No matter which team you support, these two teams are the best in England at the moment. And the one difference that they have over all other teams is how high up their fullbacks play. Because they're basically stretching the pitch. They're maximizing the width of the pitch. And it's just like trademark. I mean, Cancelo's fetching the ball up on the high line of the Liverpool back four. That's ridiculous. It's like they play with a two-back and going forward, and both teams do it. So, I mean, Robertson and Luis Diaz are doing a great job doubling up on Kyle Walker there. But I mean, this is the difference. When you're watching your team, if you don't support one of these two teams and you're watching your team next, just keep an eye on that. I mean, you'll see. I mean, if I speak from a Man United perspective, one of our weakest points is our fullbacks going forward. It really is one of the weakest points that we have. And it seems like we might, based on today's game, we might be going into the season with two new fullbacks. Malacia up on the left, he played a full game today, full 90 minutes, and looked class for the full 90. Honestly, don't think he put a foot wrong. He really looked great. And Dallo, who obviously has been at the club for a while, but never really given the opportunity all the time. He's got a little bit of scrappy play. Man City come away with the ball. Kyle Walker doing well. Bernardo Silva is playing as a centre-back at the moment. I mean, the way these players just interchange, it's actually just art. It's actually just art. Sit and watch. It's unbelievable. I mean, both teams do it. It's crazy. Liverpool are playing a very high line, which is sort of restricting Man City's push forward. Both teams sort of playing, sort of final third to final third. And forcing long balls out of each other. I mean, half these passes that are getting played. Here's a chance. Yes. Oh, Edison gets a fingertip to the ball. Otherwise, I think Firmino just had a tap in there. That was great keeping. Absolutely great keeping that. Fabinho in at the back at Bernardo Silva, which unfortunately kills the move for Liverpool. But great football all around, great defending, great keeping. I mean, this is just crazy. Honestly, I think it was Luis Diaz. I think Luis Diaz had just a tap in. I think he had a tap in there if Edison didn't get his glove to that. So fantastic keeping, fantastic attack. Just great football. Poor ball from Ake there. Alan putting Van Dijk under pressure. Van Dijk, cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber, putting Adrian under pressure. Adrian fakes the slip, but the ball is great. Henderson pings a ball out. Again, Luis Diaz, I'm telling you, this is the target. They're targeting Kyle Walker down on the left-hand flank of Liverpool. Yet Salah has actually had a few decent runs at Cancelo. I think he's been crazy. I think if Klopp gets him in half time, if it stays 0-0 at half time like this, I think he's going to speak to the guys to really go at Cancelo, because Cancelo's had a couple of dodgy moments. Trent with the shot, and it's in! 1-0, Liverpool. Fantastic. All it takes with these players at this level is a single shot. I think it did take a deflection. Hits the head, in off the post, and great goal all around. And you know, all that came from was a ping out to the left, open space. Kyle Walker wasn't really pressing his man, gave them time. Thiago switches the ball, plays it back to the edge of the box, and that's it. If Kyle Walker had maybe pressed Luis Diaz here, could have moved the ball a bit. Cancelo doesn't close down Salah there, lays it back, in off the post. So fullbacks both at fault there for Man City. They should have been closing down their respective players a little bit quicker. They both got easy passes away. And ball does get a deflection. Okay, almost manages to clear it out wide, but in off the post. Nothing Edison could do for that. And Trent gets a goal. So obviously, fantastic fantasy league player. If you do play fantasy, Trent is a brilliant asset, and he already nabs himself a goal. So there's one player already nailed for me at this present point in time. I know Liverpool. Great goal. Sure what the delay is here. Obviously, I don't have the commentary on, so I can't. Okay, cool. Game's just kicked off again. 1-0, 21 minutes. Trent with the goal. Deflection off of Ake's head. Puts it past Edison. Hits the post and into the back of the net. 1-0 Liverpool. Grealish doing well against Matip. Ooh. That would have been crazy. Alan lined it up, but Van Dijk read it well. Hit it off. Morris not looking too sharp at the moment, I must say. Luis Diaz running at Rodri does well. He's a runner, this boy. Sure, Luis Diaz. It's like a bloody Energizer bunny. I think at this present point in time, I think both teams seem a little bit tentative. A few weak spots showing. Man City, I think, on their right-hand side, is a little bit on the weak spot. Again, Adrian with the stupid clearance, and De Bruyne is in a goal! And he hits the side netting. He should have finished that. He should have packed that away. Adrian is just yeah, he's definitely the weak point for Liverpool here. And I think De Bruyne, midway through the season, buries that. He took, I don't know, he just pushed the ball one too many steps forward. I think he finishes that at the goalkeeper's near post, piles it beyond him, but fortunately straight into the side netting, and we stay at 1-1. 24 minutes gone. Liverpool have a break on here. Luis Diaz. Oh no, Firmino. No, it was Diaz to Firmino. Firmino trying the tricks, and he gets the shot away, and it is wide. Kyle Walker stood up well. Held him up. Ball out. Yeah, he forced him out onto his weaker left foot. And Firmino puts it wide. Liverpool are playing such a high line. Edison clears out to Kyle Walker. Good option. Walker gives a difficult ball to De Bruyne, but De Bruyne does well. Alan trying to bend his run. Mahrez holding the ball. Liverpool holding a very, very, very good line of defense. So disciplined. Great to see. Bino does well. Takes the ball off of Grealish far too easily there. Grealish was looking for an option. Just nothing seemed to be available. And there again comes the ping from Liverpool out from the right back down to the left back. Doubling up on Kyle Walker again. Seems to be the play from Klopp. What's up, Trey? See you in the chat there. How's the game going? You enjoying it? Really, really good tactics on display over here. And I suppose with that Trent goal, Salah gets the assist as well. So another obviously big Premier League asset on show here. So fantasy league asset on show. Morrison on the ball here. He plays in De Bruyne. What can De Bruyne do? De Bruyne picks it back, and of course, again, like we mentioned earlier, Thiago's awareness just makes him an incredible player. Incredible player. Like I said, I don't think his build-up play is always the greatest. I think sometimes he throws balls down when it shouldn't be, but his tactical awareness in the midfield is just unbelievable. I mean, he just read exactly what was happening there and stood in the perfect position. Okay, with a few loose passes. Like with the long ping upfield, a little bit of a pointless punt that. But again, Man City's discipline in the midfield, just locking out that ball out from the back. It's the same as Liverpool. They're both sort of doing the same thing, just disciplined teams. It's amazing. Kyle Walker going, showing his pace. He passes it past Robertson like he's not even there. Looking for an option. He doesn't have much. He's trying to turn Van Dijk inside out. Van Dijk doesn't fall for it. Mahrez loses the ball. Again to Thiago. Mahrez has really looked off the pace this game, which is not great to see. considering that Sterling's been sold and Ferran Torres obviously left season before. So, but Mahrez is a incredible player. So, no doubt he'll get up to speed quickly. Let me know in the comments, you guys are enjoying the game so far. Any feelings, any take-homes that you guys have? Let me know, drop it in the comments. Huge ping out to Kyle Walker. Trying to relieve a little bit of pressure off the back there. Liverpool have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players sitting in the Man City half. I mean, City can't get the ball out. They're going to have to do these long ball. I mean, crazy. Is he onside? Is Mahrez onside? Mahrez with the shot. What a save by Adrian. Was he onside? Don't think so. Don't think so. Let's see the run here. Benzi's run well. Nope, offside. Offside by a good meter. There was a solid strike and a great save from Adrian as well. He stood up well. He didn't drop his body. He did well. That was good keeping. I'll give him kudos for that. Nunes busy warming up on the sideline for Liverpool. I'm sure we'll see him sometime in the second half, 65 minutes. I don't think Firmino's fully match fit, to be honest. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Thiago doing him brilliantly to hold off 3 City players there. He's ridiculous on his day in the midfield there. Good steal back there from Cancelo, I think it was. And Grealish is offside. Tries to win the foul, but he's offside. Liverpool's disciplined back line is just causing a bit of havoc for City. I think City started the stronger of the two teams. I think in terms of resoluteness, they were the stronger of the two, but I think overall, Liverpool have probably slightly edged it. Firmino doing well, holding the ball up. Trent is playing literally as a second striker. Ooh, that was good defending there by Kyle Walker. He did really well to cover Luis Diaz there. Otherwise, Diaz was away. But there was a moment there where Trent was literally playing as a second striker. We've got a 2-on-2 here. Haaland gets the ball. He shakes off. And oh my goodness, Haaland almost scores. He shook off Robertson like he wasn't even there. Gets a shot away while he's falling to the ground, and Adrian makes a great save down to his right. Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva with the cross. Haaland reaching for the ball. Doesn't manage to get it on target. And Mahrez heads safely into the keeper's hands. Great passage of play here from City. Haaland just shook off Robertson like he wasn't even there. Gets a great powerful shot away. But Adrian makes a great save down to his right. Haaland got free of Van Dijk there. Interestingly enough. Just couldn't get the shot on target. I think Robertson's going to be feeling that one in the morning. Ake chasing back. He does well. Very quick on his feet. Always great to have a centre-back who's quick on their feet. Because even if they are out of position, they can get back in line, no problems. 34 minutes gone, 1-0 to Liverpool. Just make sure you guys do hit a like on the stream and comment down below if you've got any thoughts on the game. Cancelo taking on Trent. Trent stands up well. Forces him in field as well. Grealish's turn. De Bruyne in a great spot. Good defending. Adrian smothers the ball. Trent doing well there in defense. Didn't commit. Stood up. Forced the play back in field. Doing well. Liverpool's press causing all sorts of problems for Man City here. They're being pressed back and they keep losing the ball. Edge of the box. Like under a bit of pressure, gives a wayward pass and it goes out for a throw-in. Nice play from Cancelo. Going down the right wing. Oh, Van Dijk manages to get there just ahead of Haaland. Haaland comes screaming in, trying to get that tap in. Ball came across the goal. Cancelo did really, really well there. Just shook off. That was Matip actually. Great defending there. Cancelo did well there. Just shook off Henderson. Nice takedown there. Hold on, Cancelo. Mahrez. Ooh. Defending. Funny enough, for once, Mahrez didn't actually check back in on his left foot there. To hit the curler. The defenders marshaled him well. Unlucky. Bruyne tries to clip the ball in, but unfortunately, Grealish and Haaland pushed in and no one was sort of curving around the back to clean up. Possession stats have just come up. 47% to Liverpool and 53% to Man City. Very, very even, tight game. So it's really been a good one. Enjoying it. Grealish has the run in here. Matip's trying to cover him. Just doesn't have the pace. Bruyne with a great first touch. Swings around, gives it out to Mahrez. Mahrez in the box against Robertson. Adrian makes another good save. Almost snuck through his legs. Almost. Makes a good save. Murray is starting to come into the game a little bit more. A little bit with his silky plays, so expect him to get better as the game goes along. don't know why, but Man City shirts remind me a little bit of Burnley. A little bit odd, the light blue and sort of. Grealish on the attack, yeah. Yeah, Cancelo out to his left. He should have slipped him in. Mahrez causing trouble. Oh, there's a... Yeah. I suppose the only thing that sort of stood in Fabinho's favour, I think it was, or someone's favour there. Who was it? Thiago. I mean, he didn't even play the ball. He just played the man. He just played the man. That's a little bit crazy. He just played the man there. I'm not sure what's gone on with Trent over here. Klopp is having a heart attack there on the side of the field. He's going crazy. What happened here? It's one of those ball gets poked away, and then player kicks the ball, or kicks the foot of the other player. That's a sore one. The boots these days are so thin. It's a bit ridiculous. So, but nothing in that. I mean, that's not a foul. Cancelo got to the ball first, so if anything, it would be a foul on Trent kicking Cancelo, and you can't even claim stats up because his toe poked the ball away. So. Adrian with a decent distribution there, out to the right hand side. It meant that he recovered the ball. It's funny, both Liverpool and Man City, when the keepers have the ball from the opposite team, they don't apply the pressure on the keepers. They hold a line instead of breaking their press. They hold a line so that the keeper is basically forced to play the ball long. Instead of pressing the keeper into a mistake, they basically just let the ball be played long so that they can actually gather it up. So it's quite interesting to see the presses happening. Both these teams are extremely well coached, extremely well drilled. Salah doing dirty things to Bernardo Silva there. Cancelo comes and clears. Kyle Walker out on the right hand side. He looked a bit shaky in defense. And I also don't think that he's getting any help whatsoever from Mahrez in defense. Cancelo's getting a lot of help from Grealish, so he doesn't seem to be having an issue. But I think Walker's having a little bit of trouble with Mahrez coming back and assisting. Cancelo out on the left, crosses the ball in just too deep. Robertson takes no chances and clears down for a corner. Diaz again on the keeper. Not a silver man. Beautiful, beautiful first touch. That. Such a good player. Mahrez does well. De Bruyne with a chip in. Ball across the box by Rodri. Keeper gathers. Still 1-0, 45 minutes gone. I didn't see how many minutes of extra time there were. But, 45 minutes gone. Two minutes of extra time in this first half. I think it's been very evenly matched. Obviously, Liverpool with the 1-goal advantage. That was a little bit of a hard tackle there. I don't know who kicked who. Man City come away with the free kick, but I actually don't think Fabinho did too much wrong there. Maybe he did. Henderson breaking the press by sprinting up to the player. And that's actually just allowed for Man City to get out, but a bit of a poor ball from Cancelo there. This doesn't help much. Great little flick there. Firmino on the ball, trying to earn a free kick just to see out the half. Does well. Great ball in there. Luis Diaz is on his bike. Salah. Great take by Edison there. Otherwise, there was a bit of a tapping going on there. Looking at the flight of the ball. Oh my goodness. De Bruyne gives a poor ball away. Man City are under severe pressure at the end of this half. Can Liverpool pop in a second and make this pressure count before the half-time whistle goes? It seems like they've slowed up their play a little bit now. I think this half's going to end a 1-0. We'll see. You never know. Trent with the only goal in the first half. Deflection off. And there we go. There's half-time. Trent with the only goal in the first half. Half back from Salah after a little bit of poor defending from the wing backs of Man City. Didn't close down their players quick enough and allowed for some free-flowing passing at the top of the box. And that allowed for Salah to get the pass back to Trent, who clipped the ball in. Ake tried to clear it, but just managed to actually push it past his own keeper. Clipped the post and went in. So, game is 1-0 at half-time. Been a really good, interesting watch. So, yeah, we'll see back at in the second half. And we are back for the second half. It's been a great game so far. I think very evenly matched. I think a bit of lapse defending from the fullbacks from City just allowed a bit too much space for Liverpool to get the shot away. Let's see in the second half if we see any of the new boys from both teams. See if there's any changes coming on in the second half. Not that I can see in the lineups in the tunnel. Philip's still on the bench. Maybe we'll see him a little bit later. I wonder where he falls in into the setup. See Liverpool coming out onto the pitch. Thiago's been absolutely brilliant in the first half. Brilliant. Technical ability. Just the way he reads the game has just been unbelievable. City coming out in the second half. Walker busy chatting to Gundogan. I'm wondering if we're going to see potentially Gundogan coming on for Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez started to get into the game a little bit later on, but he didn't have the greatest game. Núñez looking a little bit depressed on the on the bench for Liverpool at the moment, so we'll see how he goes if he gets on the pitch. Alan's been a little bit quiet the first half. He's only really managed to bully Robertson off the ball. Van Dijk and Matip obviously working very well in tandem to keep him quiet. So let's see how the second half goes. I can't see any changes. No new players on the pitch. And let's go. Don't forget, guys, we've got the poll up currently now. Liverpool winning 1-0. Who do you guys think is going to be the full-time winner? We've got it up there, Liverpool, Man City. Make sure to get your vote in. And engage in the chat. If you guys have any questions, anything, see what we can do. Okay, pushes the ball out wide to Cancelo. Cancelo feeds in Grealish in behind Trent. Grealish doesn't have much to aim for in the middle of the box, though, unfortunately. Lots of Liverpool players back. Even Salah at the edge of the box, covering, doing well. Rodri, great ball over the top. What's Mahrez going to do? Great touch. Mahrez turns and spins, and Adrian gets a shot away. A bit of a tame shot, but Mahrez did very, very well there. Great spot as well. I think it was Rodri that pushed that ball into the box. Fantastic, fantastic pass over the top there. Mahrez had actually left that. Haaland could have smashed that with his right foot. But yeah, tried to take the shot on, but he was off balance, falling over. Just couldn't get any power in the shot. Rodri is such an important player for Man City. He just links everything. Him and Bernardo Silva. It will be interesting to see what City do if Bernardo Silva does end up, getting a move to Barcelona. It's going to be very interesting to see how they handle it. Walker with a bit of a poor ball over the top. He's been very much off the pace today. As expected, he hasn't played for a little while. Luis Diaz doing very well. Keeping the ball. That was a clean. Bit of a soft foul that. But he drew the foul. Maintained the ball. Did well. Okay, yeah. Definitely a foul. Protected the ball well. Pep's not looking very happy on the sideline, as always. His team could be up 6-0 and he still doesn't look happy. Looking a little bit more relaxed. We're going for the outswinger of Robertson or the inswinger of Trent. What are we looking at here? I think it's going to be Robertson with an outswinger. It's going to be a bit of a difficult one. The inswinger would be a better option from this angle. Is Robertson. Ball's very deep on the back post. Fabinho up against Ake. A little bit of a mismatch height-wise there. Salah delivers again. Rodri gets the ball away. Henderson pings a ball out. Robertson. Walker does well. Luis Diaz is doing well. Up against Bernardo Silva. Gives a foul away. A bit of a 50-50 ball that. Somebody was going to foul somebody. Currently now, the votes are still tallied in favor of Man City with 67%. Man City win and 33% of a Liverpool win in the poll in the chat. Make sure you guys get your votes in. I'll be closing the poll in the next 2 minutes. So let's see. Beginning of the game, the poll was in favor of Man City, and currently it's still in favor of Man City, even though Liverpool are up 1-0. It'll be interesting to see how this game pans out. At the moment, Man City aren't posing a huge impression on Liverpool at the moment. But we'll see. But then again, it's Man City, so one moment of magic is all it takes. Mahrez coming in field. Thiago gives him the clip. Thiago actually should have been booked within the first 2 minutes of the game. Surprisingly, he's still had a couple of extra fouls and still hasn't been... The Alvarez is on the bench for City. Interesting player that. Very, very, very good player. So interesting to see if he comes on at any time. I have seen him warm up a little bit first half as well as second half. So it will be interesting to see if he comes on in the second half. By Firmino on Cancelo. A little bit of a weak one, that. Okay, so the poll comes in. At the beginning of the game, we had a 57% chance of a Man City win and a 42% chance of a Liverpool win. And we're currently sitting with a 66% of a Man City win and 33% of Liverpool, even though Liverpool's winning. So very interesting. Obviously, on the side of the stream, you guys can see what Predict Heroes has. We do have a 1-1 as the most likely scoreline at the beginning of the game, and with a 42% chance in favor of Liverpool and a 36% chance in favor of Man City. So very tight. In terms of expected outcomes, as we're expecting a 1-1, obviously the game will go to penalties. If it does finish as a 1-1. And we did have a 70% chance of both teams to score and a 71% chance of over 2.5. So very, very interesting at the moment. What's going to happen. Liverpool's on the attack again. Salah down the right-hand side. Henderson helping out. Rodri's keeping Salah healthy there. Again, so much space for Trent. Trent gets a shot away. Again, Ake standing far too far off play. He needs to close down those, knowing the boot that Trent has on him. Trent with a great ball in. Well cleared, well covered out. Bruyne not really featuring in this game too much yet. Obviously a few little moments. Walker with a bit of a rash clearance. Ball out for Liverpool throw. Firmino just pinged the ball straight back into... Well done, De Bruyne. De Bruyne did well there. Brilliant play, and he's got Man City on the front foot. Finds Grealish out on the left-hand side. There's not too many options upfield, though, for Man City. Crosses it in, and unfortunately, Haaland was making the near-post run. And Grealish went for the ping to the back post. No one covering in. I'll never understand that from keepers. They get the ball. Has the ball in his hands. He puts it down on the floor. He gets pressured by a player. He boots the ball up the field and loses the ball. I'll never understand that. Never. As long as I shall live, I'll never really understand what exactly goes through a keeper's mind when they do that. If you're going to boot the ball up the field, just boot the ball up the field from your hands. Don't get under pressure and lose the ball. I mean, stupid. Great ball there by Trent. Firmino running the lines well. He gives a great ball through. Henderson in on the box. Up against Cancelo. Gives it back to Salah. Poor pass. Grealish covers up and clears the ball out for a throw. Man City need to get on this ball a little bit more. They're getting dominated in the midfield. Thiago and Co are doing the work. Fabinho's up on the ball. So high up. Luis Diaz, I don't know, trying something. Rodri doing well to keep the ball. Mahrez playing in the center of the park to try and get some form of control. Bruyne gets the ball. Haaland's offside again. This just isn't working. Just not working. There's no options up top. No options. Players just aren't gelling at the moment. I know it's early season, but they need to defend a title over here, and they're just not gelling. Cancelo comes over, clears the ball, corner to Liverpool. We know how dangerous they can be. Let's see how it goes. I'm pretty sure that we'll see. Here we go. Here comes the boys, the youngsters for City, Alvarez and Foden. I'm assuming Haaland's going to go off, and I'm assuming Mahrez or Grealish will go off for Foden. Probably, I mean, Foden likes to play in off the left. So potentially Foden comes off for... Grealish comes off for Foden. And Alvarez probably for Haaland. Give something a little bit different up top. And I see Nunes is getting his instructions from Klopp. As expected, he's about to make his appearance at 60 minutes. So 2 attacking changes from both teams. I don't see any defensive changes. 2 attacking-minded changes from both teams going for it. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so it's Mahrez coming off for Foden. No, Grealish. Okay, so maybe they are swapping out Mahrez for Alvarez and Foden in for Grealish. Keep Haaland up top, just offer him 2 new wide players in order to assist him up top. Both players who technically like to play through the center. But Alvarez is one to watch. Really, really, really good player. And Nunes is coming on for Firmino, as expected. Firmino not fully I don't think fully 90-minute match fit. So as expected, Nunes on for Firmino. See what he can do. This is his stage. He's been ridiculed during pre-season unnecessarily, I think. It is pretty funny to obviously see some clips of players doing weird things and things like that. But you know what? He's a professional footballer, and let's be real. Liverpool's scouting team really miss, like really miss. So just watch Nunes. He's a goal scorer, very much Haaland-like. That was a very poor ball. Just pinging the ball up. I don't know what's happening to Man City's midfield today. They're nowhere. They're just getting played around, to be honest. What you see here is Nunes up against his first touch, lets him down. His first touch lets him down. And he is offside, but his first touch was pretty poor, to be really honest with you. He was offside, obviously, but I mean, he didn't know. He was offside, but his first touch did let him down over there. He's pretty quick, though. I must say. I mean, Ake's fast, but Nunes seemed to have it, but Edison did well, got the fingertips on it. Yeah, he did well. He took out the player, but he got the ball anyway, so no pen there if he was onside. Man City have no pass options. Their midfield needs something. I don't know. Maybe Foden needs to drop into the midfield a little bit more. Allow for De Bruyne to maybe push a little bit deeper. Let Cancelo play on that left wing side. I mean, Foden's playing as a freaking centre forward by the looks of it anyway. So maybe let De Bruyne. That's a fantastic ball by De Bruyne. Kyle Walker just can't do anything with it. What a ball that was. What a ball. I mean, Kyle Walker could have taken a touchdown and brought that down. Luis Diaz running away from Rodri. Like, Rodri's not even there. And Salah's free back post, but a poor ball in from Luis Diaz. Very poor ball. Could have been a really good chance there for Salah to make it 2-0. Van Dijk seemed to stretch for that ball a little bit and pull up a touch. He seems all right, but he's got a little bit of a limp. I saw him stretch for that ball a little bit, and usually those are a bit fingers on the knees. So just keep an eye on that one. Henderson just plays. I've got no explanation of what that was. He just tried to chip the ball in for no purpose. He could have just played it to the player's feet. Sometimes I find some midfielders just try to be, play this killer pass instead of just moving the ball and migrating the ball across. And Henderson is not a final ball player. He's not there to chip the ball in behind with perfect weighting. He's a bulldog in the midfield. He plays with passion and heart and whatnot. So I don't know what he's trying there. But anyway, pressure on Adrian again. Good pressure by Foden and Alvarez, the two new subs, forces Adrian to boot the ball out for a throw-in the final third. Man City. Foden in on the ball, yeah, up against Trent. Trent doing well, standing up and not committing. Bruyne, Foden back to Cancelo. Cancelo with the switch. Not a good switch. Ball hung up in the air too much loft. They're driving the ball forward. Foden trying the through ball through to De Bruyne, but Trent gets a touch. Oof. Okay, out of position there. Luckily managed to cut the pass out from Salah. Otherwise, Nunes had a free run at Ruben Diaz. Would be interesting to see. I think De Bruyne needs to drop a little bit more and start getting on the ball. I know he's been instructed. You can see he's been instructed to play up top. Nunes through the center. Nunes through the center. And smothered out by Edison. Very well played by the keeper. Very, very well played by the keeper. He read that well, came off his line very quickly. Great run here by Kyle Walker. Poor ball. Poor ball. Plays oh. De Bruyne's just not been on the pace today, and you can see it. But Nunes got played in with a perfectly weighted ball over there. But Edison did extremely well. I mean, Nunes did everything right. Okay, yes, maybe he could have got a bit more loft on the ball, but he did everything right. He got a bit of loft on the ball. But Edison sort of didn't go down, smothered the ball. He sort of stayed up as tall as he could and managed to smother it with his face, as usual. That man always gets hit in his face. I don't know what it is. Great save nonetheless. Nunes with probably the best chance of the game. That's not a goal, to be honest with you. Probably even better than Trent's actual goal over there. But great save by Edison. Really, really good save. But again, Ake out of position, which is a problem. Interesting game so far. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and please don't forget to just drop a like on the stream. It really does help us out. That's all we basically ask for. Yeah, don't forget to obviously head on over to the website predict-heroes.com. Head on over at any time, and you can go and get all of the match stats like we've got on the right hand side of the screen here. For this game, we obviously had a 1-1 as the most likely scoreline. 70% chance of both teams to score as yes, 71% chance of an over 2.5 goals, a 42% chance of a Liverpool win, 22% chance of a draw, and a 36% chance of a Man City win. So very interesting what the algorithm has predicted for this game versus what we're watching over here. At this present point in time, I do still believe that City can score. Obviously, I mean, it's City, but let's see what's happening. I don't know what Anderson's appealing for over there. He's holding the man from behind. It hits him on his shoulder, and he claims a handball. Henderson seems a little bit frustrated lately. I don't know what it is, but something seems to be frustrating him in this game. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, City have made 2 substitutes already, 2 attacking subs. Foden on for Grealish and Alvarez on for Mahrez on the right-hand side. Liverpool with 1 tactical sub in with Nunes on straight through the centre. Straight swap Nunes for Firmino. No changes in formation for either team. Yeah, but I do believe that Man City need a bit of something in the midfield. They are backing. That's such a poor ball. De Bruyne has been very off the pace today. He's hit 1 or 2 really, really good balls. But Man City's Salah doing Bernardo Silva dirty over there, but Cancelo manages to recover the ball. Henderson doing well, winning the ball back, but it pings back to Rodri. And Man City have to go all the way back to the fence, switch the ball out. Cancelo out with Bernardo Silva on his left. Tries to play in field to Foden. Oh. Rodri playing late passes, De Bruyne not getting on the ball, Bernardo Silva doing what he can. Yeah, I think, and there gives another ball gives away. Alan probably, I think, with his first touch of the half, it's been, I don't know, maybe he has had a touch, but I think it's been 28 minutes and or 23 minutes and he hasn't had a touch yet, which is crazy. It just shows you what's happening in this game. There's a great ball in, around with fingertips, and then he slices it out for a throw in. Foden was coming around the back post there for what looked like it could have been a tap in there. Cancelo, Bernardo Silva, driving in at Henderson, probably the right person to drive in at. There's Foden with the ball across. That was a handball. That was a handball. Craig Pawson, that was a handball straight there. I think we could all see that. There's absolutely no way that wasn't a handball. He was literally on the floor and stopped the ball straight directly with his hand. I don't know if there's VAR in this, but that looked like a dead, straightforward handball and should be a penalty. But I don't think that maybe there's no VAR in the Community Shield, but that really did. I want to see another replay of that. It really, really did look like a handball. Alvarez doing well. Alan doing well. Foden making a great run. De Bruyne to Foden. Foden with the shot on target. And Adrian Spall. And it spalls and it's a goal. And they're calling it offside. Alvarez offside. Alvarez offside. Interesting. Interesting. I don't think so, but we will see. Nope, both of them onside. Both of them onside. He's onside. That has to stand. That's a goal. That has to be 1-1. Man City, Liverpool at 1-1. Definitely onside, not offside. 100%. Adrian dove on the ball with his hands out to scoop the ball into himself and ended up spilling the ball. So I don't know. Like I said in the beginning of the match, definitely looks as though Adrian's going to be the weak point for Liverpool. They're just checking the... I honestly cannot see him being offside here. That really does look like he's onside. Definitely does look like he's onside. I can't imagine that's going to be given off. The goal should stand and it should be a 1-1. Let's see what happens. But I think a 1-1 should be the scoreline. I don't know what's taking so long. To be honest, it looks quite clear-cut to me. The two substitutes combining for Man City. Foden back to Alvarez, and Alvarez with the tap-in. And it looks like the goal has indeed been given. I don't know why it took so long. I really don't know why it took so long. Well done to Alvarez. Foden did well. De Bruyne did well. Adrian, I think, I think he could have done better. He dove on the ball and sort of tried to grip it back into his stomach instead of placing his hands on top of the ball. So, yeah, I think he could have probably done a little bit better. But great from Alvarez with the follow-up there. Great effort from Foden. And I've been saying all game that De Bruyne hasn't been anywhere in this game. And here he goes. Like we said, he needs one chance. He gets that one chance, crosses the ball in, and it is a tap-in. So 1-1, 73 minutes. We've got some changes here. Gundogan coming on, and looks like Harvey Elliott coming on for Liverpool. James Milner also coming on for Liverpool. Trent's going off, funny enough. If this game does end up going to penalties, I mean, Trent's one of the big penalty takers. So Elliott's coming on. Anderson and Trent have gone off. Elliott and I see Kevin De Bruyne has gone off and Gundogan has come on. I think that's a good change. De Bruyne looked a little bit off the pace today. Didn't seem like he was commanding the midfield as much. So I think it was a good change there. Like we said at halftime, we saw Kyle Walker and Gundogan chatting, so it looks like they might link up on that side. Here's Gundogan on the ball already, controlling the play. Doesn't have much option. Foden gets kicked on the back of his heel, I think, by Fabinho, and wins a free kick in a tight space. Frees up a bit of pressure. So now what's happened is Gundogan has dropped into the role that Bernardo Silva was playing. Interestingly enough, and Bernardo Silva has been pushed further up the field into where De Bruyne was playing. As I said, with the interest from here comes another chance for Alvarez. He tries to put it back in the box for Haaland, but Robertson does well to recover. I see Milner is on for Trent, and Milner's playing left back up against Foden. I mean, that's a mismatch of note. So let's see. Gundogan playing in Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva in his favoured position up in the final third of the pitch. So tricky. Crosses the ball and it just touches the roof of the net. Haaland hasn't been in this game at all. A couple of touches in the first half, but really not a lot in the second half. The Liverpool centre-backs are keeping him very, very quiet. But I think it's more the midfield. I think Man City have had a very lax midfield this game. I think they have been a little bit quiet. And let's see, here's Nunes. Tries to give the ball across the box to Luis Diaz. Wins a free kick, wins a throw in, 4 rebounds off of Ake. Milner back to Elliott. Elliott to Fabinho, back to Elliott. Pep has a little bit of work to do in this warm-up to the season, I think. I think Liverpool's players are looking slightly sharper. We know Pep, all of a sudden next week, he's going to have all of his players playing like crazy players that are possessed. In terms of shots, Man City do have 12 versus Liverpool's 9. I'm trying to lay the ball off, but Thiago does well again. He's read that so many times today to keep the players up top quiet and just intersect. He's been really world class today. Great ball out. Alvarez on the ball, running at Van Dijk. Let's see what he can do. Comes back infield, does well. Gives the ball back to Gundogan. Gundogan looks to Rodri. There is acres of space. I don't know why Man City are not targeting this left-hand side of the field with Trent going off and Milner on. I don't know why they're not targeting the left-hand side of the pitch a little bit more. They're playing ever so much down the right-hand side through Bernardo Silva. I think they need to get Foden on the ball a little bit more. Cancelo on the ball. Here's Cancelo for the first time against James Milner. Milner commits early. Very lucky Elliott read that well, because Foden was through. Milner trying to earn a free kick. Gives it back to Elliott. Back to the keeper, and keeper slices the ball out. It's been the story of the day. Adrian's distribution has been atrocious, to say the least, as we expected at the beginning of the game. And I don't know why Man City are not doing this more. Move the ball out to the left-hand side of the pitch. It's the weaker side defensively. Van Dijk keeps covering Robertson so well to move the ball out to the left-hand side of the pitch and attack the side with Matip and James Milner on for Trent. It is 1-1 at the moment, 79 minutes gone. Make sure to hit a like on the stream. Unlucky. Nice attempted ball from Gundogan through. Nunes with some hold-up play. Plays in, links in Salah. Runs on the shoulder. Salah with the clip in. Nunes on the ball. Is that a handball? Is that a hand? Is that a hand? Craig Pawson says no. Man City play on. Foden at the back post. Alvarez on the ball. Foden. Poor ball from Alvarez. Poor ball from Alvarez. Nunes still calling for a handball. The ball was clipped in by Salah. Over Diaz's head. Ooh, that's a bit of... Nunes headed the ball back down. And it hits Diaz straight on the hand. Surely that should be a handball. Potentially. I think that could be a handball. I really do. It should be a handball. I'm going to just say it like that. It should be a handball. Should be a penalty. And it's going to be interesting to see who takes the pen. I mean, we're all assuming Salah, but Nunes has a decent penalty record. So it's going to be interesting to see. Just waiting for... Okay, so Pawson has been asked to go over to the TV, and we all know what that generally means. Most likely going to be a penalty for Liverpool. Let's see what happens. It was really good centre forward play though from Nunes. I must say he pulled away from the centre back, allowed some space for Salah to play the ball in. And instead of going for goal, because he knew that he couldn't really get it there, he just sort of headed it back into a dangerous area, which is always great centre-forward play. And it looks like he may have won a penalty. And yes, he has. Penalty to Liverpool. It is 81 minutes. Penalty to Liverpool. Nunes down onto the hand of Ruben Diaz. And Liverpool have a chance to go ahead. Salah on the pen. Edison. Man City players are still complaining about something that happened earlier on in the game, or something that happened in the build-up to the penalty. They are not happy at all. I think it was a stonewall penalty. I mean, I don't know how he could not have given it. So I don't know who just got carded there. If it's Ruben Diaz for that handball, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, if it's Cancelo, I can understand, because Cancelo's been complaining to the ref and mouthing off at the ref. So if it's Cancelo, I can understand. I can't understand if it's Ruben Diaz, because certainly not for that handball. Okay, Salah versus Edison. Let's see how this goes. Edison decent on pen saves and Salah decent at penalties. So let's see how it goes. FPL Asset 101. Let's see how it works. And Salah scores. Edison goes the right way, but Salah puts it into the side netting, and Edison cannot get down in time. And it is a goal. 2-1 Liverpool, 82 minutes down, 8 to play plus extra time. Great link up there between Nunes and Salah. Nunes receiving the ball 2 feet, pushes it out to Salah, runs off the back of Ruben Diaz, giving Salah a lot of space in order to get the cross, and Salah dispatches the penalty. Edison almost got there, but it's a great penalty. Down, hard and low, into the side netting, always difficult for keepers to save. 2-1 Liverpool, 82 minutes, 8 to play, plus extra time. So looking at the stats on the right-hand side, we have got the over 2.5 goals at 71%. That has indeed been achieved right now. The both teams to score was achieved when Alvarez tapped home from less than a meter away. And we do currently have a Liverpool winning at 42%, and everything seems to be lining up at the moment. Expected scoreline most likely was a 1-1. With this penalty, obviously, it's run up to a 2-1, which has achieved the over 2.5, and the both teams to score has already been achieved. Thiago, I think probably Liverpool's best player today, to be honest, has just come off for Naby Keita. Interesting change there. Obviously, some players just don't have the full 90 in their legs. We're on 84 minutes, 6 minutes to play plus extra time. And I see that it was Ruben Diaz that got given a yellow card for that. I don't know why he was given a yellow card, to be honest. He did not deliberately hit the ball. He was up, his arm was already in the movement. Was it a penalty? Yes, definitely. Stonewall penalty. His hand did obviously stop the ball from going, and his hand was in an unnatural position, but he didn't reach out and stop the ball or anything like that. So I don't know why the referee gave him a yellow card for that, unless he was mouthing off. That makes sense, because the rest of the logic doesn't make sense why he got a yellow there. But 2-1, Liverpool, Man City. De Bruyne is off the pitch at the moment for Man City, so they're going to have to rely on the creative exploits of Foden, of Alvarez, and of Bernardo Silva with Haaland. Haaland, I think, has touched the ball once in this entire second half. It's been crazy. Naby Keita coming in with a shot. Ake blocks it, and it goes out for a corner. Corner to Liverpool. 86 minutes. We've got 4 minutes to play plus extra time. Going to be an interesting end to the game. Cancelo has looked a little bit off the pace today. I'm not going to lie. Actually, the whole of Man City, to be honest, has looked off the pace a little bit. We'll see. Liverpool already starting to waste a bit of time. Wasted a good 20 seconds over there. Milner does well. That's a great cross. That's a great cross. And Nunes heads wide. He did all right. He went for cross the goal. I think it's the right thing to do. I think he did have a lot more space and time than he thought. Okay, not great defending. But Haaland had the man in front of him and didn't press up on him. So he was a bit slow in reacting. Allowed Nunes a free header in the box. Liverpool have the ball back. We're on 87 minutes, 3 minutes to play plus stoppage time. Liverpool up 2-1 at the moment. Robertson picks the pocket. Robertson, I don't know what Robertson was trying to do there. That was the wrong option. Salah, I think there was a pass on the inside through to Salah, and Salah would have packed that away if he had managed to get the pass to him. But I think he definitely picked the wrong option. He did well picking the ball off, but definitely the wrong option with the shot. He didn't have the angle too far out as well. People would have had that. All right, I think it's time to open up the poll for the man of the match. I think the players that I would definitely go with would be the likes of Thiago. I think that's a great interception there by. Okay, he did well there. And Haaland has just flattened Van Dijk. I don't know if it was with an elbow or what it was, but he just jumped across the player and then wiped him out. Yeah, it's a hand across the face. But, I think Van Dijk has been pretty solid as well today. But I think I'm gonna pop up Trent as one of the man of the match candidates. And I think in terms of option from Man City, there's not, to be very honest, there's not too many that I would recommend. I think Bernardo Silva probably had a decent game picking the ball up off the back four, especially in the first half. So yeah, just posted up the poll for the man of the match. Get voting, and we'll see at the end of the game. From my side, I think Thiago would be my pick, but let's see how it goes. Cancelo doing really, really well, giving the ball out to Bernardo Silva. What can he do? He clips the ball in, great. Haaland just, I don't know, very poor first touch. Liverpool are really playing very well at the moment, fighting for every ball. Interesting. There is 7 minutes of extra time. 7 minutes of extra time. We have just gone into the first minute of extra time. Foden does very well. Quick feet. And is it a corner or a goal kick? I think it's a corner. All right. We've got an in-swinging corner coming through here. I think Foden's taking it. Very high. Keeper should be coming for those. Back post. Flicks back. Haaland and he scores. But the ball was out prior to it being brought in back into the field. Just shows you one chance. He's barely had a look in this entire half. Let's see. Yeah, no, it was definitely out of play. But he's literally, I think he's touched the ball once this entire half. This was his second touch, and he does put the ball in the back of the net, but the ball was out of play prior to coming back into him. So a goal obviously doesn't stand. It is a goal kick to Liverpool. We have 7 minutes of extra time. We are just wrapping up the second minute, and we'll be into the third minute shortly. Liverpool still 2-1 up here against Man City. Ake does well against Nunes. Nunes goes down. I think he's just wasting time. That looked like a little bit of a soft one. Ake got the ball really, really well there. Yep, Ake does really, really well. If this is a foul, it's a joke. Good. Throw in. Great tackle there by Ake. Really, really good. Salah with the push in the back. Getting frustrated. But that's definitely a free kick. I mean, he can't argue with that. Alright, we're wrapping up the third minute of extra time. We've got 4 minutes left. Liverpool still lead Man City 2-1. So let's see how this game ends. Almost there. Don't forget to vote for your man of the match in the top box. Ooh. Nunes has some serious pace when he gets going. His instant accelerations are not the greatest, but my goodness, he's fast when he gets going. Salah, Elliott coming in, Robertson crossing, and it has to be a goal, and it's finished. It is finished. Darwin Nunes makes it 3-1. Removes his shirt, I don't know what for, but he removes his shirt. He is getting elated like you cannot believe. Man just finished from a simple tap-in header. Fantastic play there all around. Man City being their own undoing. And it is 3-1 to Liverpool. And that should be the game. Liverpool will probably take this win. We've got a few minutes left, plus a little bit of extra time on the extra time. But yeah, Man City just haven't been up to the pace today. It is what it is. Robertson with a great late run in. Kyle Walker doing absolutely nothing except playing the man on side. He didn't even affect the pass. He didn't affect the cross. Nunes with a decent finish. A proper striker's goal poacher's finish. But honestly, Kyle Walker just has not looked the part today at all. So, yeah, all round great play by Liverpool. Nunes technically getting an assist and a goal. I mean, he got an assist for winning the penalty. He gets a goal for a tap-in, and he gets a yellow card for taking off his shirt. So, all in a day's work from Nunes. So, yeah, well done to him. Good job. All right, so Liverpool 3-1 up. Game is basically dead and buried now. Man City just have not been up to the pace. See how many minutes are left here. I think there's only 2 or 3 minutes left. 95 minutes. 95 minutes, and there'll be a little bit of extra additional time because of the celebration. But yeah, basically, game is dead and buried. We'll probably have 3 more minutes left of the game. Nunes confirmation of his yellow card, removing his shirt. I'll never understand that celebration. Man scores his first competitive goal for Liverpool. And takes his shirt off. Unbelievable. Well, I'm wearing a Benfica shirt, so not in honor of Nunes or anything, just because I would get lambasted if I wore a Man United shirt while watching the Community Shield game. So Foden with the shot, and I can't believe what's just happened. Foden gets the shot away. Adrian with the save. Haaland with a tap in, and he blasts it over the post. Like, he just blasted it over the poles from the 6-yard box with the keeper down. It's funny because, you know, everyone, all of us were mocking Nunes for his first touch and the misses that he's done in pre-season. And, you know, expecting Haaland to be this majesty who never misses. And the first game, Nunes gets a goal and an assist. And Haaland blasts over from 6 yards out. So, yeah, that's like an oxymoron of note. Okay, it's been 97 minutes, and that's the game. Ref not going to prolong this anymore. Nunes wins it for Liverpool. Goal and an assist coming off the bench. Great play. Great game all around. I think Liverpool were definitely the best, better team on the day. Their midfield definitely outplayed the likes of Man City's midfield. So yeah, great game all around. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for the season to get going next weekend. And we'll be back. We'll be doing this every single week we'll be picking a game over the weekend, and we'll be doing these watch-alongs. I mean, I watch as much football as I can, so I just thought it would be great to, spend some time with you guys as well and watch the games. So yeah, all in all, a great game. My man of the match was definitely Thiago. I think he killed the game off for a lot of Man City's moves. And yeah, Darwin coming in with the goal and assist on his first competitive appearance. Haaland missing a tap-in from a meter out on his debut. Salah looked sharp. Trent looked sharp. Robertson looked sharp. Luis Diaz looked sharp. I think Man City have some work to do in this week leading up to the league. But Pep will work his magic, and Man City will be back next weekend. I've got no doubt about that. But yeah, great game all around. Thank you all for watching, and have a great evening. Cheers.